Okay, friends, for today's writing lesson, we are going to be taking our odes from Tuesday and we're going to be doing some revision. So typically when we do revision in the classroom, we do revision stations around the room. In order to do this through remote learning, we made a revision station slideshow, which is going to be attached to the assignments today. So I'm going to go through my ode that I wrote and go through the stations and show you how I would revise using the slides. So let's start off with the first one. Describe the subject inside and out. So odes are super important to really get to the heart of your subject. This is something that you love. This is something that you want to show extreme affection for. So you really need to do a good job of explaining it to your audience. So I'm looking through my poem, and I think I do a pretty good job. But I think there are some things that I could add to really show people and express what my guitar is like. One of those things down here, I say, your paint is chipped in multiple places, which is fine. But I really want you guys to experience what the paint is like. So I'm going to say, this your slick black paint is chipped in multiple places. Then it says it only adds to your rugged beauty. But I'm looking through this and I'm saying, okay, that's pretty good. I talk about the plastic, the steel, the wood. I talk about things that it does. It creates noise. It gives feedback. So I don't really have much to do on that station. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Exaggerate its admirable qualities. So this kind of gets, again, to the heart of odes. You are totally exaggerating how you feel about this instrument. I say that I pick you up and you lift my spirits, which is good, but I could also say that about a soda. If I grab a soda, that could lift my spirits. I really want to exaggerate this. I'm going to say, I pick you up, what should I say? And you send my spirit soaring. Really just going above and beyond. Yeah, I went through earlier and I added rugged beauty because at first I said your slick back paint is chipped in multiple places and you are beautiful because of it. Okay, that's fine, but I went back and added, and it only adds to your rugged beauty. It gives you a certain grace and dignity. So again, um, I'm totally exaggerating that because if the guitar itself, which is right back there, let's see, yeah, you can see it right there. Yeah, it has chips in its paint, and some people would look at that and kind of think that maybe it's not super impressive, or maybe it makes it look less valuable or less cool. But I actually do think that it makes it look worn in and it makes it look special. So I really exaggerate that in the poem. Let's look at the next slide. The next station talks about tapping all of your senses. So if you followed last week's brainstorm where you talked about how your subject applies to your senses, then this should be pretty good. And actually with my poem, I kind of use that as a guide going through the different senses as I set it up. So I think I'm pretty good on that one too. And as you can see, for everyone, these are going to be a little different, right? Some people might need to spend more time on one and maybe less time on other ones. Okay, let's see. Figurative language. So we had a whole unit on figurative language when we studied Tuck Everlasting in the fall. So now let's put that to test in our ode. Some figurative language. At the beginning, it says, "Oh, Reggie and Reggie, my electric guitar. I think this would be, I was trying to think of a good metaphor to add. And guitars, some of you might know, can be referred to as a guitar could be an axe. So I'm going to say, oh, Reggie, you are an axe. So that's a metaphor directly. It's not actually an axe, but so it's you are an axe cutting through eardrums. I don't know. It's kind of silly. I'm going to also add from the land of eBay, because that is where I bought the guitar. I bought it on an online auction. Yeah, so I looked through. I think one of the things that's automatically built into odes is the idea of hyperbole. Because you're exaggerating, you're going to be using language that just goes completely above and beyond. Like I said, spirit soaring, vibrations pumping life into my heart. Again, it's not literally doing that, so we're using figurative language there. Let's see. Yeah, so thousands of songs in my head flow through you like a river. So that's a simile. That's right down here. Rushing spectacular noise from your strings to my ears. So those are just a few of the instances that I have of figurative language. Maybe I'll add one more. Down here it says, you understand me more than any living being ever could. I mean, of course, that's hyperbole, exaggeration. The next thing is addressing your subject. So make sure that, and this goes hand in hand with talking about your feelings and personification, which is figurative language. So I'm talking to my guitar. I'm saying, you are an axe. I pick you up, your vibrations. You are plastic. So I'm really making a point to address my subject. Next, talk about your feelings. That also, I think, is kind of tied in to what we were talking about before. But yeah, I think in here, I say, I hope I haven't hurt you. Thank you for understanding. So I'm showing how I feel about the guitar. There's more that I'm going to add after this, but I don't want to keep you guys too long in the lesson. And then finally, strong language. So we don't want to just use boring language like pretty or nice. I would rather you guys, like Miss Victor suggested in our last lesson, get a thesaurus, try to find some really interesting language that you could add. And that is something that I think I can do as well. But again, the stronger the language, the better. So those are just some of the stations. Again, everyone's going to be at a different place in this. Of course, in addition to these slides, check and make sure that you don't have any spelling errors. Make sure that you've broken up your stanzas in a way that would be beneficial to get to the essence of your ode, to get that across. And yeah, if you have any questions, please reach out to myself, Miss Ditto, Miss Victor, and I'm really looking forward to reading the odes that you guys have created. Thanks a lot.